In the name of God, the Beneficent, the Merciful. My second request is that in reaction to the flood of prejudgments and disinformation campaigns, try to gain a direct and first-hand knowledge of this religion.
U.S. forces bombed Islamist militants in northern Iraq. They may be rejecting, moderate Islam, but they are preaching a form of Islam that is very popular in some corners of the world.
Islamophobia is on the rise within Britain. Muslims are feeling threatened. They are threatened. They are being vilified and demonized, and there's no doubt about it. Anyone who claims that's not happening is not living in the real world. And anyone out there who opens up the papers in the next few weeks will see some negative story about the Muslim community. Tell me I'm lying.
It is true that ISIS, that Islam is not ISIS, but it is also true that ISIS is Islamic, is it not?
Now, the greatest threat to life and limb from illegal acts in this country is the Islamist terrorist.
The leader of the Islamist extremist group Boko Haram, standing in front of an armored car, says, "I abducted your girls."
The right logic requires that you understand the nature and essence of what they are frightening you about and want you to keep away from.
And there is also the internal indoctrination of innocent minds. Establishing more and more Islamic schools and altering education.
I don't insist that you accept my reading or any other reading of Islam. What I want to say is, don't allow this dynamic and effective reality in today's world to be introduced to you through resentments and prejudices.
The other night, the president said in his speech, he said that it will be a policy of his administration to leave no safe haven for anyone who threatens America. Sounds good, except for the last 3 years, we've been creating a safe haven for ISIS. ISIS has grown stronger because we've been arming the resistance that ISIS is part of.
Don't allow them to hypocritically introduce their own recruited terrorists as representatives of Islam.
Well, apparently we've got a senator over there who had his picture taken with some kidnappers, so I don't know how good a job we're going to do vetting those who are going to get the odds.
Receive knowledge of Islam from its primary and original sources. Gain information about Islam through the Quran and the life of its great prophet. I would like to ask you whether you have directly read the Quran of the Muslims. Have you studied the teachings of the Prophet of Islam and his humane ethical doctrines? Have you ever received the message of Islam from any sources other than the media? Have you ever asked yourself how and on the basis of which values has Islam established the greatest scientific and intellectual civilization of the world and raised the most distinguished scientists and intellectuals throughout several centuries?